This is a McMansion. This too. And so is this one. You've probably seen a version of one in an American suburb.
It's not a style of house. It can be Tudor one day, farmhouse the next day.
It's over 3,000 square feet. It's usually in the suburbs, and it's usually done in kind of a slapshot way. So a big house that maybe is, for lack of a better word, a little bit tacky.
Despite their, at times, poor reputation, they've never really gone away.
These are the houses that I sell most often. I was just in a bidding war of this exact type of house.
And it's part of a larger trend. Home sizes in the US increased more than 20% between 1993 and 2023, while household sizes have decreased.
The McMansion didn't really go away. It's just that we started viewing housing in a different way.
People are making money on McMansions, but are they making as much money as they could have made on a different type of home for the same price point? And that's sort of a different question.
So how did McMansions become so popular? And if they are considered a bad investment, why do Americans keep buying them? McMansions first appeared in American suburbs in the 1980s. Middle-class families wanted bigger homes, and McMansions were the answer, a slice of the American dream. So they were produced en masse, and cheaply. A couple of factors played a big part in their rise. The first was the deregulation of the mortgage industry. New laws passed in the 80s that allowed banks to make some risky financial moves, like allowing adjustable rate mortgages, or mortgages with interest rates that are variable, shifting the risk from the lender to the borrower. Borrowers who couldn't qualify for the traditional mortgages were able to get ARMs.
The adjustable rate mortgage really changed how people viewed home buying in America. And in fact, there was a lot of pushback against the adjustable rate mortgage because people thought it was a scam.
It was also a time when wages were growing rapidly, and the inequality gap was widening. Big homes were a way for people to show off.
Because if you're seeing, I can have a 4,500 square foot home with, 5% down, and I can get this mortgage that I'm not really qualified for, and people jump on that.
In doing a simple Google search, you'll find many different types of McMansions. One common theme beyond size is often the number of amenities: a gym, a bar, a large entertainment room, a basement. The list goes on.
That amenity-driven plan, that is a specific type of plan. That is what the McMansion really is. There's just so much space, and it's hard to integrate it under one roof.
And many were built with cheap materials, like new lumber or mass-produced stucco, fake stone veneer, or vinyl siding. Also a result of the new technological developments in building in the 20th century. In 2007, the median price of a McMansion was about $520,000. They accounted for 15% of all suburban homes at that time.
They seemed like a really good investment. You're like, great, I can have this big house and I can afford it, and I'll be able to resell it for more than I paid for it. And to a large extent, that is true.
The American financial system is rocked to its foundation as top Wall Street institutions topple under a mountain of debt.
The abundance of subprime mortgages and low interest rates came to a screeching halt in September 2007. As interest rates rose, many borrowers couldn't afford their higher monthly payments, and therefore defaulted on their loans. In some cases, homeowners owed more than their homes were worth, which led to widespread foreclosures and a bankruptcy crisis.
Until home prices stop falling, things just aren't going to get any better.
Home building activity declined sharply, creating a significant gap between supply and demand that led to a housing shortage. McMansions gained a reputation for being a bad investment.
This house looks like it was designed by someone who maybe saw a house once in their life, but either had some sort of visual issues or was wearing kaleidoscope glasses that you get during Halloween.
And instead of buying McMansions, Americans downsized or got into home improvement.
They wanted to conserve on gas bills, water bills, air conditioning, all of their utilities. They felt like they only needed maybe a smaller home, a ranch, something practical. That was a very, very short-lived notion.
Buyers eventually came around, According to Realtor.com, McMansions represented up to a quarter of all home sales in the years leading up to the pandemic. The trend accelerated in the years since. Yet it's become harder to afford a home than ever before. Mortgage rates in 2025 will likely remain high, while home prices have skyrocketed. Construction costs have inflated too. Building a home is incredibly pricey. Prices are expected to rise even more, with potential tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. And that's helped McMansions.
They are becoming the choice of first-time home buyers who don't want a 1960s split level, but can't maybe go into the price bracket of a new construction home.
McMansions have in fact appreciated at nearly the same rate as regular homes when looking at Zillow data. Though it's important to note that Zillow doesn't break out a McMansion from other 5-bedroom homes. The McMansion premium, or the extra money buyers are willing to pay for a larger, amenity-filled home versus another one, has fallen.
If you are stuck in the middle of the city with a large family and you're just out of space and looking for a larger home, but maybe the stuff near you isn't as affordable and the stuff that's big enough that's being built right now isn't affordable, then this is a good opportunity for you.
McMansions are less than 20% of all home sales. In Bergen County, New Jersey, one of the most sought-after real estate markets outside the New York City metro, Rubenstein says McMansions are as popular as any other house.
Even these houses are getting multiple offers. I bid myself for a client $100,000 over ask, and there were many offers above.
Experts say their investment value is determined on a case-by-case basis. McMansions located near cities appreciate better than ones further out in the suburbs. The desirability of the zip code matters too, of course.
If they're really far out from the city and really just like in a completely amenity poor area, then yeah, they sit on the market forever because no one wants to drive 20 minutes to go to the grocery store.
I really don't think it's about the house itself. I really think it's about, the location, buying in a place that people are going to want to buy in 5 or 10 years.
It also hinges on the construction.
Some of these large homes with large yards that need maintenance, with maybe lower quality building materials that need to be replaced, can have a higher cost of ownership than something that was built a little more sturdy and built to last.
Some McMansions do take a price cut, as the more unique amenities like a fake river in a living room or a movie theater aren't for everyone. And any home older than 20 years will likely need repairs. Yet it will be especially crucial in 2025 to evaluate just how much maintenance a home will need. New tariffs on steel and aluminum, a volatile economy, and crackdowns on immigration are expected to make construction even more pricey. If there's a lot to fix, a McMansion would be a terrible investment, even if the price per square foot is relatively low in comparison.
Buying a home is seldom a bad investment. And even when it is kind of a tacky suburban McMansion, what we're seeing across the market at all price tiers and size tiers is an increase in price reductions right now. So for buyers, if you're looking to get into a bigger home, these McMansions might be a good option.
I think the only ones that have not held their value as well are the ones that look like you walk in and you're like, okay, it's 1995. So people don't want to be transported back in time. They want something that's been maintained. People want a new construction house.